problem with DC, it's its own sovereign territory, like the Vatican. That's the difference. And it was supposed to stay within a 10-mile square radius in the Constitution, but they've extended it, they said, through, donated property. So this is a problem that we have in the country right now, okay? That DC is its own sovereign area. So I wouldn't be too nervous going to other events, but I won't go into DC. Personally, I won't go into DC. You can go to other events and don't be worried about being arrested or anything like that.
Absolutely. Well,
It's peaceful, and they can't stop that.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make people afraid. Don't be afraid.
Absolutely.
We'll say all right. We'll say all right.
All right, guys. Anybody else want to chime in? Anybody? Just unmute yourself. I definitely don't want to walk away from here without a plan.
They can't handle me. They ain't tough enough yet.
One more thing, Christine.
Yeah.
In this area, if you have to take someone to the hospital, I've been to all the different hospitals except Hershey. Heart of Lancaster, which is UPMC, they have been most accommodating.
I was born in 1975, baby.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm new at this Zoom.
Yeah,
UPMC, they have, if you have someone that you need to get seen in the emergency room, I have taken 4 people there in the last as many months. They're not mass Nazis. By the time you get to the back,
I've been doing it all my life, brother.
Once you get in the back, they actually have their masks off. But what they will do in the emergency room, when you go in, they will bring the nurses out. By the time you see the doctor, you've had your blood drawn, you've had x-rays, and the doctor comes in, they'll treat you for IVs and everything. It's just, I've been really impressed with the craziness that's going on in the ICU and on the emergency rooms. I would not go anywhere else.
My name is Beetlejuice.
Right.
Can you get rid of
Yes, I can. All right.
There's something going on. Somebody's screaming on top of me.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're good. Sorry.
Roger Rabbit.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was me or you.
No, it was.
I just wanted to give you a heads up because the one day that I took someone that had kidney stones, I was so impressed. She was doubled over in pain. They were out within 10 minutes, did blood draw.
What hospital is that again?
It's called Heart of Lancaster or UPMC. It's right on Lidditz Pike in Lidditz.
Oh, someone did tell me that they went there. They said it was excellent.
Well, the day that we were there was an 8-hour wait at LGH the night that we went there. And we walked in at 9:30 at night and they diagnosed her, treated her, and we were out by 2:30. And there was a 12-hour wait at York Hospital. So, and I've heard that numerous times. It's just not a one-time experience. I took an Amish lady there for a baby, and they were amazing. They didn't even have to wear masks in the room. They had rooming in. It was just in this craziness. Now, I know the government is pushing down on them, but I think they have a heart, and they're not all sold on it. They're not sold like LGH is kind of crazy from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But, if you have someone that, I think that's the best place to go. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Yeah, definitely put that out there. That's awesome. Okay. Well, thank you. All right. Anybody else want to chime in? Anybody want to come up with a plan with me? Definitely need that because, we can sit here and talk all day, but we got to do something.
Hello.
Hi,
this is Susie.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I just I think we need to rack our brains about how to deal with hospital protocols of death for these COVID patients. And I have been thinking all day. And I can't.
Susie, can you hear me? You're coming in really low.
Okay. Yes,
okay, that's
good.
That's good. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, I just think that we really need to put our heads together and try to figure out how to combat and get something done with these protocols of death that I want to call them, of the hospitals. I mean, I can't believe the treatment of my uncle, and the remdesivir, like we all know, is not good. I don't know how to attack that, though. I've been trying to think of stuff all day, but I think we need to come together and try to figure something out, expose them somehow. I don't know.
And I think we can do it. I really do. I just, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to take a lot of work,
Yeah.
But with that, I think, I really do think we can win. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm a little too positive, but I think if enough people came together, I do think we can beat this. But yeah, so.
I mean, I hope so, because I think my uncle died. I think he waited too long, but I also think that the treatment he got at Good Samaritan Hospital was not good treatment, and it helped with his death. So
we got to make sure he didn't die in vain. He was a good man.
Yeah, he really was.
Really good man.
And that's the reason I'm passionate about trying to figure out how to either change these protocols, expose these protocols.
Yeah.
If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. I've been trying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there anybody on here that would be able to get a mass mailer of some sort out to do a survey, so that the people who maybe aren't on Facebook, that what we're going to need numbers, and I think that reaching out needs to be our first step. We need to, prepare ourselves with our army before we go into battle.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So I didn't know if there would be anybody on here that would have any ideas as far as doing how to do a mass mailing, or how to do, can you just send a survey out to everybody in Pennsylvania, or everybody all over the United States?
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I own my own business, and I have a newsletter that I use Flowdesk that I can help Christine and John with creating something, and we can send it out. We just need names and email addresses. That's the minimal amount of things. So
nice.
Yeah.
That would be good. I am going to contact the frontline doctors because I definitely need to know what steps to take. And if anyone's on and knows of a starting point, let me know, because like I said, the food industry was very, very different than this. Just a lot easier, but where there's more money involved, it's more complicated, right?
Sure.
So, we're just making pennies compared to the healthcare industry. Yeah.
For sure.
So, but thanks, Susie. And
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to talk? Anybody have a plan or a plan of action? Let me know what you're thinking.
Well, I have an idea. I'm thinking there are many, many people running for governor right now, and they do Q&As at different meetings. If somebody would just put together one question, which will probably be me very soon, and asking them about the protocol, and if they're aware of it, and if they are aware of it, what can be done? What rights do we have? Because I'm not seeing any rights here. I'm not seeing any constitutional rights. And I read the Pennsylvania Constitution. I got the Constitution plastered on my walls, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence. And I'm saying it's stomped all over. So all these people that are running for office with the elections coming up, I'd like to know what how they feel, what their opinion is on this protocol at the hospitals.
I don't think they want to get involved. When I reached out,
because that's what they're in office for.
Yeah, when I had reached out to some of our legislators, because I'm friends with them, I was like, what can we do about this? They all told me, even the senator, the power is in the hands of the people. We can't do anything. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing then? But so I think it's going to be the people that win this, not the politicians.
Yeah, they're doing fundraisers. Everything's a fundraiser. Right? Ridiculous.
So it is
It
ridiculous.
blows my mind that in India, the government, allows ivermectin and they got a very great success rate at it. And I know firsthand that it works. And it's just so mind boggling that we're in the United States of America and we can't get it. Even if their excuse is, well, we don't know, really all the side effects or whatever. If somebody has cancer or, they're willing to give you like 10 different options with different risks. But if you say ivermectin on Facebook, they ban you for a week. It's so bizarre. It's like so frustrating to me. People are dying, man, and ivermectin works. Like there has to be a way between all of us to figure out, like Adam just said, a plan of attack. Like what is DeSantis doing in Florida when you go? Is it the same thing as up here?
Are you aware that in Florida, the monoclonal antibodies are free? My friend reached out to me yesterday morning because she's sick and she said, you wouldn't believe how these make you feel. And I said, oh, they're really expensive here. They're about $5,000. And she says, no, in Florida, they're free. I'm like, what?
I'm about to move to Florida.
Free?
I'm being serious. I'm joking, but I'm serious.
Well, you know who wants to save lives and who don't, right? Free.
Yep.
Wow.
Well,
So, yeah. Yeah. You want to introduce yourself? Can you hear me? do you want to unmute yourself?
I'm not sure.
Let me see.
Who, me?
No. Wait.
Oh, that's
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Harold.
What's up, Harold?
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, I just want to let you know, I've been following you guys for 2 years. I think you guys are great. I'm back you guys 110%. And if I can do anything for you, I'm there. And, you help with everything that was going on since the start of this. You guys helped me overcome the fear. I want to let you know that because I was scared, man. I had no idea what was going on. And I started tuning in to what you guys were doing. And I was like, man, these guys are standing up to Governor Wolf. And that I've been telling friends here. And I was like, they're not afraid. They're not going to take anything. They're not going to back down. And I've seen a lot of that, in you guys' character. And I said, those are my type of people.
Thank you.
I said, anybody that'll stand up to somebody and not let them push them underneath a rug. I mean, you gotta back people up like that, man. I mean, you guys are like underdogs, and you're out there walking your path of truth, and you want the truth to get out there. And it is going to be a battle. I'll tell you, there's going to be people coming at you left and right. But you know what? If you know the party, I got to turn my thing up so I can hear you. So what I was saying, if you stand the path, the more faith you have, it's going to be seen like things are going to try to knock you off. And what I'm telling you is have the heart, the courage, the spirituality to keep moving despite how hard it gets.
Yeah.
And I know, man, because that's a battle. And when it's all said and done, you can stand and think to yourself and say, you know what, I did something for the kindness of society, humans, and whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So keep staying the path. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm listening to everything that you guys are doing. I'll see if, I have some friends. I have a lot of contacts, and I'll reach out to them, and I'll see, if I can get some more people involved, because I figured the more you have, the better off you are.
Yeah, it's a big battle. You need a lot of people.
Strength
You need a
in
lot of
numbers.
people.
thousands.
especially in Seattle. It's bad in Seattle, Christine. It really is. I mean, every time I talk to people back there, you can hear the stress in their voice and stuff like that. You know, it goes a lot faster. I mean, I got the easy life because I'm retired. I'm a grandparent. I sit with my grandchild, take her to school. That's my job now, make sure that I raise her right. But, there's a lot of people out there suffering. And, I think to myself, well, I got it good. I don't have to go out there and bust my tail and make $1.
Yeah.
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 And, stuff like that. So I won't get on a tangent or anything, but thanks for letting me speak. I just want you to know that hey man, I'm behind you
Absolutely.
110%.
We don't
Look
have
forward to
all,
some stuff.
we don't have all the answers. And I don't have a medical background. But what I do have is the passion and the desire to fight for our country. And, I know what I bring to the table. I have an amazing reach, and I know that the Lord has blessed me with this platform, but what good is it if I don't use it, to further, what God has for me, right? And that's why I need all of you guys. I don't have that medical background, so I need you guys. Where do you think, the best place to start is? And I'm definitely willing to do my part. I'm not one to get involved in a fight and back down. So anyway, yeah, I definitely need you guys in this. We do, yeah. Yep.
Well, Christine, can I say one thing to you?
Sure.
My wife went to Penn State. My wife went to Penn State University. She's got a degree in hospital administration and policy.
Wow.
And she hasn't, she don't know too much about you guys, but I've been kind of throwing the cheese at her to eat. And I really want to get her involved because she is a very intelligent person, like my family, they're Italian too, and they're very smart people. I mean, I know it sounds biased, but I've seen that gal on the Dean's List.
Wow.
Straight A's, man.
That's impressive. Yeah.
So I'm actually, when I go towards your way, because I'm going to like this Italian market that I heard of through a friend of mine here told me to go there. It's his cousin. I'm going to try to make a stop and see you guys because I want to come up to you, shake your hand, introduce, you know what I mean? Shake your hand.
Let us know before you come because me and John are no longer there. We do stop in to see my mom, but or like I go help her do like different tasks there that are a little hard for her. But yeah, just let us know.
I'd love to meet you guys in person, man.
Absolutely.
I'd love to meet you guys in person, shake your hand.
Well, you got my number too. We talk a lot. So hey, if you ever know that you're gonna come this way, even though we're not there, I'm sure we can set up a spot to meet anyway.
That'd be great. Hey, John, you don't want me to speed dial you? Because I'll burn your phone off. I'll burn the battery down, man. Trust me.
I got it right here.
All right,
I'm joking, man.
Thanks, Harold. Okay. We appreciate it. All right.
No problem.
All right.
Hey, so I have a couple of recommendations, if you guys don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay, I think first maybe what we should try to do is like get some names. I think strength in numbers is number one. That's key. And then we need to get emails from people and start sending out blasts like we talked about. Blasts about just trying to take over these hospitals and try to make them do the right thing. I was in medicine for 20 plus years and I retired because I was sick and tired of it. And the things that I saw in the operating room were disgusting. What was happening to people's organs, and nobody wants to, they just don't want to talk about it. Like the doctors would just stand there and be like, oh, I don't know. I've never seen this before. I don't know what's happening. Well, I can tell you what's happening. I just looked at the patient's chart and they're double jabbed and their bladder's falling apart. That's not normal. I mean, so I think we should get strength. I think strength in numbers. That's number one. We need to start sending out blasts about wanting to take control of what we need to do to make this happen. We need to, start and then we need to, I think, secondly, we need to find a lawyer or somebody who's willing to take this on. Once we get those numbers and all the people together, if we can say to them, look, we have like over 5,000 names or over 10,000 names. These people want to get involved. They're all willing to put maybe some monies together to get this done. And then I think, thirdly, that's just it. We have to find out what it's going to cost us. I don't know a lawyer to even begin, but I don't know if maybe your lawyer that helped you out with Taste of Sicily would maybe either want to do it or know somebody that could do it, or somebody that might want to get involved. I just feel like that's where we need to start with this.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick. I think you're on to the right path tonight with that statement, and this is why I definitely agree with you. So we definitely need to get some lawyers involved, because there's so much misinformation out there. You don't know what's what. But what I do know is this: I do know that remdesivir and the vents aren't having a very high rate at all. In fact, most of the people that I've spoken to and their families, their loved ones died on it. And what I do know is that ivermectin and all these other things have a very high percentage of helping people. So we need to speak to a lawyer for sure and get a plan of attack of finding out what is the truth in the hospitals and why they are not giving ivermectin out, and what we have to do to try to get something passed to allow families to have this as an option, because right now it's not even an option. So we need a lawyer. We need people with a higher mentality, with a way to do this, guys. Yeah, so how do we go about?
We need somebody that knows the law and somebody who can go in there and say, look, we have all these people. We have people who have lost family members because we are not using ivermectin when it's been proven. I mean, all the frontline doctors talk about it all the time, and they're doctors. How can they be discredited? They went to school too. They have that background. I just don't understand, because it's just, it makes me crazy. I just feel like, we just definitely need to start there. We need to find a lawyer, somebody who knows what angle we need to attack this at. And when we're ready to attack it, we just need numbers.
I don't think my attorney will do it, because he is so overly involved with what's going on in the schools.
Well,
he's aggressive though, and he is so intelligent. He would do phenomenal. I wonder if he can recommend. I'm going to run it by him though, because I'm telling you what, he is the most meek man I've ever met. But man, let me tell you something. When we went into the courtroom, he annihilated the Department of Ag. We were, me and John never seen that part. We were like, whoa, where'd that come from? I mean, he was just spitting off stuff. And I was like, wow, this guy he's amazing.
And
that's what we need, a pit bull. We need somebody that's going to go in there and let them know we're not effing around here. This is serious. This is people's lives. This is... there's no reason for it. I don't care if they want to sit here and depopulate people. I don't feel as though that's the right way to go about things.
It's not.
I mean, it's just not.
Murder.
These are people's loved ones. These are people's livelihoods. Like, I got into medicine because I loved helping people. And then I got out of it because that's not what it was anymore. And now I sure as shit am going to do whatever I can to try to save people in a different way if I can do it. And that's just all there is to it, because that's what I was meant to do. And I believe that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for what you've been doing. Like, you guys, for real, just doing this, getting people together and just wanting to do something says so much, because people are afraid to speak up. But again, if you have strength in numbers, nobody can beat that down. That is a huge wall that will never get shut down.
I don't understand that fear. I don't come from that fear. And
me neither.
As a Christian, I know that no matter, if God has called me to a battle, he will equip me. And I was praying this morning. I was like, Lord, this is really big, but you've called me to it. So then I know that everything is going to work out. Am I going to win? I don't know. But if I can save one life, was it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we know of other groups that are doing this, possibly?
I think there are
states or other areas.
I think I heard of one in, was it Bucks County? There are a few. What would be great is, to come together, but as far as I have
Even get ideas from them too.
Absolutely. And there's so many of these groups, like, this group doesn't talk to this group, but they're all patriotic groups, but they're all like, divided. And I'm like, we could do so much more if we can't. Listen, for the people who don't agree with us, get to the side, do what you guys do and just follow the narrative, right? And let us do what we are doing. I'm not
Exactly.
like people like, really, I mean, they're coming on the Zoom and they're reaching out to me. I'm like, do you have nothing? They have nothing better to do. It's like, why don't you get involved? Could you imagine if you use that energy towards something good? And, people have said that's because you're killing people. No, I'm not, but you are, right? It's ridiculous. But, anyway. But yeah, anyway, would someone else like to speak? I love your feedback, by the way, guys. If you'd like to speak, just unmute yourself. Like I said, we're looking for ideas, a starting point where, we definitely seem to be constructing one now, but we definitely need more input. Anybody want to chime in? Don't be shy. If you're shy, you can leave your camera off. We'll just hear your voice.
Well, we have a doctor, and we do have a hospital that is not going to, that you're not going to walk in the door and die, going through the doors. And we do have a doctor.
Yeah.
And, even if the
And
doctor...
with that, you have to look at, he's charging thousands of dollars, she said, for an IV, right? So then that poses another problem, right? You're like, okay, so, in that, I have no problem with doing like fundraising and stuff like that. But some people don't have that. I know I don't have like thousands of dollars laying around just to, get an IV from, even though I think it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's not real quick.
Of course.
That Dr. Yacomi, right?
Mhm.
Yacomi. He gives you IV, so he gives you medicine if you're sick,
Mhm.
like IVs of what, like the antibodies and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's at least a huge step
Yeah.
tonight, though. At least
Yeah.
we all have a doctor that, man, if it's going downhill quick, you can go to him, and that's kind of comforting for me as well, because I was sick a couple weeks ago, and man, it can get scary fast. My mother went to the hospital. She's 71 years old. And what did they do? They sent her back home and said, if you get worse, you can come back. We'll give you a ventilator. It's like, this is some scary times. So just having that doctor number in my phone gives me a little bit more peace.
I was speaking to a lady who, she's a great customer of ours, and she's been a supporter for, as soon as, when we started this battle. And she had said she was going to bring her mother-in-law to the hospital. I said, don't do that. And she said, well, it's not my choice. I said, I'm telling you, they're going to give her a vent. They're going to give her remdesivir, and she's gone. And I get a text today. My mother-in-law was just, put on a vent. I said, what did I tell you? I said, please tell me she's not at the Hershey Medical Center. She said she is. I'm like, that's where my friend's husband just died. I'm like, wow, same protocol, same thing. And she's like, but it wasn't my choice. What do you mean it wasn't your choice? It's your family. Like, I don't get that when people say like, well, like, what do you mean it wasn't? What do you had no voice? You couldn't say anything? I don't get that.
Another poor lady, her husband was in there, and man, they said, we want to put him on the vent. And she said, no, you're not going to do that. And the doctor said, well, if he dies, it's your fault. So she listened to him, put him on a vent.
And he died anyway.
He passed away 2 days later.
Yep.
Or I think it was 2 days later.
Yep.
It makes me so angry. I almost want to just when you're so mad, you tear up. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah. But, I don't understand how family members are staying silent. And a lot of you guys aren't, but some are. But yeah. Anyone else want to chime in? Please. I need your ideas. I need your input. I want to see things from your angle. I definitely appreciate, what everyone has to say.
Could I say something?
Sure.
I think it's very important to bring prayer first. They split us up for a reason, because there's power in prayer.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
I believe in getting together. The second or first part, second part, whatever. The first part I think should always be prayer.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm sick right now. I can't go to work. No problem, whatever. God's got me. And my 2 kids are sick, but my son's fever broke, so we'll be all right. What happened to the flu? What happened to the cold? But this is a Luciferian agenda, bottom line.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we really need the power of prayer right along with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So as there is strength in numbers, there's no strength without prayer.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Me and John prayed before we got on, but we should definitely always start with prayer and close with prayer.
Yeah.
Because without God, we won't win. We have no chance. We have no chance.
My wife told me before she doesn't like when people say all we can do is pray, because that is the most powerful thing you
It's
can
the
do.
most powerful
It's
weapon
not
we
like
have.
a last option, like a Hail Mary, like everything else failed. Let's pray. That's all. No, that is the most powerful thing. It's definitely a supernatural battle we're in. It just so happens Luciferian.
Amen.
Come on. Jesus said, for those with eyes, let them see, right?
Mhm.
And man, what
Yeah.
a crazy time we're living in. When I was in high school, I would have never thought, this is crazy. DNA getting changed and Luciferian in it. And wow. So yeah, I think we should definitely pray before the Zoom ends 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. And I hope you and your children feel well.
We
Yeah.
will. We're getting there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, yep. Anyone else want to chime in? Go ahead.
I'd like to chime in for a second. Can you hear me?
I can. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay. I lost a really dear friend a week ago, Tuesday, in St. Mary's. This exact same thing happened, this exact protocol. He did not want to go in, but he waited too long. And there's 2 key things here. We have to stay healthy. Stay healthy, keep your lungs healthy. But as soon as you feel something, as soon as you get check your oxygen levels, and as soon as you start feeling something, you've got to start treating right away. And my friend didn't. He thought he had a bad cold. He waited too long. By the time he called his doctor wouldn't give him ivermectin, said, no, we don't do that. Trump's a liar. And 2 days later, he was in St. Mary's in the emergency room. They left him all day in the emergency room because he put up a stink. He didn't want to follow their protocol. So they really kind of mistreated him. And by that night, he was extremely hard, having real difficulty breathing. I think they put him on, they intubated him, and the next day he didn't want it. But, by the time you're in the hospital and they keep you, the wife couldn't come in. Nobody was allowed in. They don't tell the next of kin what's going on. His wife had to call one every day. Like she had to wait for them to call her back, like once a day with a report. So it was just a horrible experience. 2 weeks he was in, never had a visitor. She saw him. His wife was able to come in the night before because he was dying. Spent 15 minutes with him, but he was already unconscious. The next day he was dead. So this hospital situation is just horrifying. So
it's awful.
Just, it does happen. The man was 64. You just can't take any chances. Keep yourself healthy and get treated right away if you can with ivermectin, whatever. Stay on the good vitamin routine. It's serious.
It is serious. It is. And then, sometimes I think the people fighting us is bigger than the battle that we really need to fight. You know what I mean?
Yep, I think so.
And the stupid stuff that they say, Trump this, listen, we're not even talking about Trump. We're just talking about saving lives.
No, it's not political, and they're making it.
Yeah, whatever. Trump he's not here, and whether he comes back or not, I don't know. I really don't care right now. I don't even care about this whole audit the vote and all this. And people are dying. People are like, we need to vote good people. Well, that's great. But what are you going to do about the people who are dying right now? Because time is of the essence, and this is not going away anytime soon.
When politics mixed with medicine, it becomes political for
Yep.
sure. How did politics mix with the? Oh, this is insane.
Money, money, money.
Exactly.
It's all about the money. Money, greed, and power, right?
We really appreciate you guys and all that you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for being here and,
Yep.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, thank you. Anybody else want to chime in? Anyone? You can just unmute yourself.
I wanted to share a story. My mother-in-law lives up in Perry County, and she has a lot of Amish friends. And one of their relatives lives down here in Lancaster County. And shortly before New Year's, he got COVID, and he got really sick, and he went to LGH, and they, of course, admitted him. And they would not let the family come in and see him at all. And finally, his son had had enough. Somehow his son snuck up to his room, and when this gentleman was admitted, he told them he did not want to be vented under any circumstances. And at some point, his son wanted to see him. He went up to his room, and he had a no resuscitate bracelet on. Family was never told. They actually had to get a lawyer to get that bracelet off of his wrist.
Wow.
Yep. That's the honest to goodness truth. Yep. Yep. They tried to get him out. The hospital said he wasn't ready to be discharged. I did talk to my mother-in-law 2 days ago, and they were working on getting him out and getting him for rehab. And she said she'd let me know further information when she knew it. But yeah, he had a no resuscitate bracelet on because he said he didn't want to be vented. Thank goodness his son got in his room and saw what was going on.
And guys, I have those forms. Don't forget. Now, I know that someone said, well, the date on it is 2021. I went on Dr. Artis's site. I did not see that he updated anything yet, but you got to, those forms are really, really important. I don't know if you've gotten to see the forms that I had posted, in the event that you are hospitalized, that that you do not give them permission to vent you. You do not give them permission to vaccinate you. Because, once you're in there, man, once you're like under them, good luck getting out. Because and there's a reason they're not letting you in. Because if you have a husband and a wife, and the husband goes to the hospital and they say the wife can't, well, what do you mean she can't come in? They sleep together at night because they don't want accountability and they don't want you seeing what's going on in there.
See, and of course, I don't want to believe that I seen something about hospitals getting, they called it a bonus, if they give you the if you're positive for COVID, a bonus if you get the remdesivir, a bonus if you get the vent, and then even horrifying, a bonus if they pass from COVID. Now, that's really easy to discount, but then the more stories I hear like this, I'm starting to believe that. So from what we talked about earlier, we got to get a lawyer some way, somehow to dig into this and see if they do get more pay increases for deaths, and if they do, how do we stop that and get ivermectin as an option? Man, this battle is so big right now, and that's why we have to pray all the time.
Could I mention something?
Yeah.
I was at a meeting and they were pulling down the mask order, okay? And there were papers there for cease and desist to give to like maybe the Wawa or a store that is enforcing a mask after it was not enforceable anymore. And so we have these papers for cease and desist. So I'm wondering when we get the attorney, and I say when because we will, that they draw up papers to cease and desist their activity. And these are the hospitals that are causing trauma and death to people. And it's wrong. And they need to cease and desist. And that just popped into my head. I thought I'd throw it out there for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, definitely.
Something to look into, something to think about. I have a few friends that are attorneys I'm going to reach out to and see where they stand with this and, and what's going on, and if they're willing to get involved. A lot of people are not willing to get involved. They're getting a lot of pushback. It is very
Christine.
political. Okay, whether we want to accept that or not. And they do get a lot of pushback. Doctors have had their licenses revoked. People really, a lot of people are just drinking, and just trying not to deal with it. So, a lot of prayer.
Absolutely.
Prayer is powerful. Moves mountains, parted the seas. We need to pray harder. I pray every morning, afternoon, and night. I'm on prayer lists, groups. we need to pray. And I keep telling people, you really need to pray. You know, 2 Colossians 7:14. If my people,
That are humbled by my
you know,
name. Yeah. If my people that are called by my name will
that's
humble
right.
themselves,
Yes, will seek
then will
my
I hear from
face.
heaven if they will turn from their wicked ways. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Will
And we
heal the
do, and me
land.
and John have, with the radio show, we do have the capability of reaching its millions. And we're not censored and we can say a lot, but we're getting like, just trying to get everyone familiar with us right now. So I didn't want to jump into all that. That's on the business side, but then we have the Christian side as well. So that's going to be great too. But unless people move and unless they do something,
Yeah.
we're not powerful enough. So
Chris said that.
yeah.
You see?
What's that?
Now there was David against Goliath. Don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. We know who wins in the end. And we
Absolutely.
need to stay positive, because when people get stressed out and they start losing hope, that's when they get sick. Stress is the number one killer because it will lower your immune
I ought to
system.
be dead.
Okay. And
Should have died 2 years ago.
No,
I'm telling you what. I'm like,
you like a challenge.
I know
You
last
kidding?
night
It's a challenge. You
we
love
were
a
laying in
challenge.
bed and I'm like, Gabe, we got to get involved in this battle. I know John was like, oh God.
Well, I'm just
Oh no.
I'm just thinking I'm having a hard enough time trying to get content for next week's radio show and wake up for work today. You want to get another one? But hey, she's a fighter. That's kind of the reason I fell for her. And there's always going to be a fight, that's for sure.
Yeah. Chris, did you want to say something? Do you want to unmute yourself? Oh,
I get it.
I got you. Yes. Hi,
Okay.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't even know where to begin. I'm a nurse. I just got fired on the 17th of December. I 17 years with a hospital up in New York. Seen a lot of stuff. And then we had a close family member pass away in one of our local hospitals recently. And the things that I saw in there, I was able to go in as her advocate. The things I saw in there were just horrific. Basic standard of care was not maintained for her. The second that they were aware that she was unvaccinated, I mean, it was awful. It was an awful experience. And we got to fight this. I mean, we have to have, I don't know how they can, force people to be in these positions alone, because even with me being in there with her, I have 12 years of neurosurgical experience, and then OB nurse for the last 7. But I mean, if I wasn't there, I had to fight for every single medication, treatment, and anything like that. And I can't imagine what these families that, can't get in there to be with them, have somebody to like explain this stuff to them and educate them on what's going on. It's real scary. I mean, the doctor, after like talking to me for like 15 minutes about my friend's vaccination status, it's like, I just had 8 unvaxxed patients die, this in the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, well, I can tell you why. I mean, they're not even doing basic level of care. No, I mean, they're not pushing remdesivir and antibiotics, nothing.
Wow.
Well, they are pushing remdesivir, but they're not doing, she had a whole bunch of other issues going on that they should have treated. And the second that it was like, oh, you're COVID positive, unvaccinated, it just, everything went by the wayside and we had to fight for everything. And she ended up passing away. It was devastating.
Wow.
So we have to get people inside of the hospitals, nurses who know what they're doing, nurses who are willing to advocate and stand up, doctors. We're up in northeastern PA and we got a lot of people up here that are pretty upset about everything that's going on. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's good because you know who your people are, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But I mean, the things that they're pushing in the hospital, even up in New York, like had a mom come back positive for COVID. I took over on her after she had delivered. I just had to get her ready to go, over to maternity, and they called, oh, she's COVID positive. I'm like, yeah. And no symptoms at all. Her baby had to go to NICU, just swallowed some fluid, pretty typical. So we had to call and let the NICU know. And the NICU was like, okay, well, she can't visit. And I said, what? Yeah, she's not allowed to visit the baby, not at all. And I said, is this new? How long are you talking? Well, we're not really sure yet. I said, well, one of you probably should come down and talk to her. Like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't agree with it. And they're like, well, the dad can visit. Dad can visit. You know why dad can visit?
Is he
because we don't test
vaccinated?
dad. No, we don't test dads.
Why?
No, so I don't know. The dads never get visitors. Dads, like, they don't get tested. They don't have to.
So weird.
So
Right?
weird.
It doesn't make sense. So mom can't go visit, and she's asymptomatic. Dad is unknown but can visit. It's just, and I went in to tell this patient, I was like so upset about it, and I was like, I'm really sorry, and she just looked at me and said, okay. Like, people just take whatever they're given, like they don't have any fight in them. And
Yes.
it's devastating.
I think a lot of people at this point, they're so drained or so exhausted,
They are.
right? But what's the other option that you have? So you give up and they continue to kill people. They continue to take our country. So if you stay there and do nothing, you're making it easier for them. We have to make them more exhausted than we are, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have felt crazy every day for the last couple of years, probably, but I've thought, like, if we go in and tell them, sorry, the patient's confused, is there any law saying that somebody can be with them if they are, you know what I mean? Like, I've thought crazy things like that, just to get somebody else in there at the bedside while they need treatment. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm a nurse. The laws are not my, thing, but I'm about sick of them.
So were you able to find a place that, would allow you to work for them, that you didn't have to be vaxxed, or no?
Well, it's funny. The doctor who gave me a hard time about the vaccination offered me a job afterwards, said I was young and I should be fine as long as he's like, we're accepting, you can come here even if you don't have the vaccine. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And you didn't go back?
I could. I mean,
good for you.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I mean, that's our local hospital that this all happened at. And I have worked up in New York State, for my whole nursing career. But I don't know. I think I never want to step foot again in that hospital, but we need local hospitals. People are sick. They need to have good people in there advocating for them.
Absolutely.
One way or another. I mean, that's, I think, the biggest thing. I mean, we demanded our way into that hospital. I mean, we didn't really give them much of a choice. But I mean, we have a lot of people in our family with some medical background. So, people need to know what their rights are. And I mean, it's just insane. And in the hospitals, it's crazy right now. And it's not like, I mean, people are sick. They are very sick, but nurses are leaving, doctors are leaving, like crazy, because they're done. You know what I mean? Like, nobody on my floor had an issue with me not being vaccinated.
Wow.
I was there and I worked hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of experienced, great nurses that have left because they're not willing to sacrifice their beliefs and, on this. It's not worth it.
Well, good for all of you. We need more like you, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. So we hear, like about the payout, like the doctors are getting more, but it's supposed to be pushed by, the administration.
Right.
Did the nurses fall in that category too, or they're just listening to the orders given? Like they don't have to they're not being bought, correct?
No, I mean, not any nurses I know. We're all just being like manipulated to do what they want,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the hospitals are most definitely being reimbursed. Most definitely.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I have questioned a lot, even, I worked at the hospital for a long time. I mean, medicine changes, right? Why are we, if we see things like maybe if there is another option to try, why wouldn't we try it? It doesn't make sense that they're not even doing clinical trials in the hospitals for some of these patients with ivermectin and whatnot. They won't even try it.
We're actually led now. Like, we have to come together and
we do
heal each other. Like, I have to reach out to nurses. We spoke to an amazing heart doctor, not vaccinated, not for the vaccine. I mean, an amazing he is one of the top, the nation's top doctors, and he's not vaccinated. So I'm like, he knows what's going on. He knows.
Yep, he does.
He's like, 2 years of this, and what do we have? A failed vaccine.
I know people are sicker now than we were before the vaccine. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I have close people in my life that they're nurses and they got the vaccine, and one struggles with heart issues now, and the other one is struggling with constant fatigue, and her emotions will not.
She can't cry anymore.
It's so bizarre. So they said,
So
we will
weird.
not get the booster. And if I have to lose my career, then so be it. And they regret the original shot. So it really
Yeah,
is.
there's a lot of people like that.
And then for doctors to be like, oh, they're not vaxxed, so we're going to treat them like scum is appalling to me.
Yeah.
Even the vax are
Yeah.
still getting sick. Why are you going to treat another it's just very, very, very frustrating.
Really sad. Yeah, and it's everybody. You know, they like to make you think that it's just unvaccinated people. I think a lot of it is that unvaccinated people have done a lot of education and are terrified to go into hospitals. So they wait too long. So that by the time unvaccinated people get to the hospital, they're really sick.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, because you don't.
So-
we have no faith in our healthcare right now.
Yep.
Doctors have lost credibility. You know,
Yep.
they've taken money
Yeah.
over the sanctity of your life. So
I mean, it's just laziness. You know what I mean? Why bother educating when someone's going to govern you and tell you what you have to do anyways? You know, I mean, I'll talk to plenty of doctors that don't think the mandate is okay, but they're saying, okay, you need to get this vaccine. Okay, well, what are you telling your patients as far as getting this vaccine? I mean, this is something you really know very little about at this point. You know, it's unheard of that they're pushing it. But I mean, I've read the letters to some of the ACOG sent out letters to the private practice docs and said, you know, you stick to this script or you're going to go before the medical board and you could lose your license. You know, so their hands are tied too. I mean, they have backed people into corners so badly. And this Hochul is pushing for the booster to be a mandate in the next month here in New York State. And the healthcare system up there is just, I don't see it. I mean, I can't believe it hasn't crashed already. It's really bad.
Oh, yeah, that's what she was saying. And my son says they're coming out with another booster.
Yep. Yep.
If the first one didn't kill the second, and if not the second, the third, and if not the third, the
Yep.
fourth. We're just gonna keep going until they all drop, right?
I know it. Yeah.
Our friend, the heart surgeon, he said you have heightened immunity just for like 2 weeks. He said when you have the boost, when they had the vaccine, he goes, after that it drops right back down. I was like, wow.
I have good friends at work who were really like careful and I mean, nurses try to be that way anyways, but just they were way more, you know, keep the mask on, you know, get the vaccine. And they last couple of weeks, COVID positive, really sick. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. I don't think that we can avoid it, but we got to make sure we're up and moving and keeping ourselves healthy. But when our family members or friends are getting sick, I mean, we need to make sure they have the right resources and information to help them.
And take care of each other.
Right.
Really.
Yep.
I told my family, no one's going to the hospital. Nobody.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
you get them moving then.
Yeah. I guess I am the doctor of the household now.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school for this, but I've been elected, right?
Well, they're gonna treat me like crap and send me home anyway. So
yeah,
I might as well.
If you make it home, honey.
Yeah.
If you make it home.
Will you send me will you inbox me so we can stay connected?
Me?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's like, heck yeah.
Thank you.
She's a fighter. I love this girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Christine.
Yes.
I have another can of worms that maybe we can open up here.
Oh, God, not another one.
Well, yeah, it's connected. I actually lost a friend because I expressed my concern about the contamination of the blood supply with all these people that are donating. You can 3 days after you get the vaccine, you can donate blood. And that's a huge concern. I mean, and I have not seen anyone address that, but doesn't that concern you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I need a transfusion or I need a little extra blood, absolutely.
Now, I had listened to this guy and he's a unique person. His name is Jaron Jackson and he has I think he's on Telegram. He's not on Facebook anymore, but he is putting out this manual, this Live Local Field manual, but he said that there's a way for people to band together. And if they band together as a group, because they go under local mandates, they can do things that other people, when you form a corporation and stuff like that. But I'm wondering if there couldn't be a way that we could form a blood bank or a place to bank blood that is only available for unvaccinated, that we're giving each other our blood, because I do not want to get spike proteins if I need blood.
Right, right. That's true. Well, like, isn't that like that? Isn't it like we just got vaxxed? Right?
Well, they don't know what the long-term results are of the blood, and they're not willing to address it. But if you go on the American Red Cross Association, I mean, I think it's 3 days after you're vaxxed, you can donate blood.
Wow. I know there's a shortage now. I just seen that.
Yes, there is. And I mean, the thing of it is that you can, if you know, you can have family donate if they're the right blood type. You can collect your own blood. It's called autologous. But I'm just wondering, long term down the road, this might be something that we could actually even draw in more people than that might be as feisty about the hospitalizations, but they might be able to be interested in the safety factor of it.
Right.
Because I think this is going to be long term. It's going to be huge.
It is.
This is, yeah. You're going to see the ramifications of everything, but not
I
right
mean,
away.
it's almost going to be back to what happened with AIDS, because they're not testing blood for that. They might be testing it for COVID, but they're certainly not going to be testing it for vaccination and spike proteins.
Right.
So, I know we've discussed a lot, but, I still think it's within the realm of what we're talking about here. We're talking about advocating for one another, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I said we're just talking about advocating for one another.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that would be within the realm of what you're discussing.
Yes.
But it's not going to be a little thing, but I think it's going to become bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think if enough of us get in the fight and we have the passion, I think we can do a lot. Like I said, I will reach out to the frontline doctors and,
Are you on sensory overload yet?
Oh my God.
Right.
I've been exhausted for the past year, but what's the alternative? You know what I mean? I go back to life and just watch everything fall apart. I can't do that. I don't know how any American can do that.
You know it.
That's not who we are, but so I'm going to start.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I've been seeing some stuff on Facebook. I don't know if there are advocate groups and what they're able to do, or maybe we could even reach out to, I wish I would have screenshotted it. I can't remember the name, but there's a lot of people that are speaking up. If we can get, I don't know the legal ramifications or how this all works, but if we can get advocates just in the hospital with these people, I mean, that would make a huge difference right now for the ones that are in the hospital.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Dr. Artis. He's a great resource, and that's where I had gotten the forms, the ones that you're supposed to fill out. So if you're admitted to the hospital, they don't vent you, and you kind of let them know what the way you want to be treated and what you won't accept as far as their form of treatment. And I got that on his website, but he also has legal information, what happens if your loved one is in the hospital and you can't get in there, and he has all of those. There's lawyers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing of it is about that form that you have out, if you are Medicare or Medicaid, the CMS has put forth a, I don't know what you call it, but a mandate or whatever, that they have the right to make decisions for you. You do not have the right to make decisions when you're admitted. And that's why they say when you go to the hospital and they give you that electronic thing to sign, you give them the right to vaccinate you, to make all the decisions. So you should refuse to sign with that electronic thing so you can read everything that you.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a wicked world we're in.
I told John's mom that, and she goes, no, they didn't read that to me. I said, they're not going to read it to you. They're just saying okay, so this is your insurance, we're billing, but they don't tell you, oh, by the way, we're going to vet you and we have the right to vax you too. I mean, it's so evil.
But there is on the CMS, when you are now at the hospital, they have they disregard your choices.
Yes,
I mean, they have taken away your rights to decide.
Yep.
Informed consent is not applicable if you're in with COVID.
Well,
it's amazing we still have our guns. For now, right? Well, guys, I'm gonna wind down here because I've been here on here 2 hours, almost 2 hours. I have a lot of things to do, but please inbox me if you were not able to speak. Please let me know, what ideas you have, or and reach out to me so we can all connect. But again, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll do these again. Next time I'm going to do it a little bit differently, just because of, the couple of nuisances that I had on here. So anyway, yeah, do you guys want to pray before we close? Do you guys want to pray, or it's up to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm glad, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, Heavenly Father, we love you and we thank you for another day on this earth, Lord. Every day is a gift from you, and waking up is a gift that a lot of times we take for granted. So, Lord, your word says we're two or more gather in agreement that you are present, and that you will hear our prayers, Lord. In these uncertain times, it's easy to be afraid, and there's a lot of hurting people right now, Lord. I ask that you just meet every hurting person right now that has lost a loved one, that is living with a spirit of fear and just going through unimaginable pain, Lord. I just pray that you comfort them. And Lord, your word says that you're the Alpha and the Omega. You are the beginning and the end, Father God. You know every single thing that will happen in this life. So, Father God, I just pray that in these times that we live in fear, you just remind us that you are in control, and in the end, you will win. Satan will have his day. He will have his judgment, Lord. Just carry us until that time. Comfort us and give us strength. Remind us who you are and who we are in you. And we love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Have a good night, everybody.
Amen.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Christine.
Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.